Ethan always believed love was something you could protect by holding it tightly enough. He learned too late that holding too tight was just another way of destroying it. He met Lena on a rainy afternoon in a nearly empty cafe on the edge of the city. She was reading a book he loved, one he thought no one else remembered. When he commented on it, she smiled, softly, cautiously, as if smiles were something she saved for moments she trusted. That smile became the beginning of everything and the seed of the end. They started seeing each other slowly. Walks, conversations that lasted longer than they should have, late-night messages about meaningless things that somehow felt important. Lena was independent, thoughtful, and fiercely private. Ethan admired that, but admiration quietly turned into fear. The fear of losing her, of not being enough. Ethan's past was full of locked doors, a controlling father, a mother who disappeared without explanation. He learned early that people leave, and when they do, they don't look back. Lena didn't know this at first. She just knew that Ethan listened intensely, as if every word mattered too much. At first, his attention felt comforting. Then it became heavy. He wanted to know where she was, who she talked to, why she sometimes needed space. Lena tried to explain that love didn't mean ownership, that breathing room mattered. Ethan nodded, said he understood, but understanding and accepting are very different things. The cracks began with small arguments, a missed call, a delayed reply. Ethan's thoughts would spiral, turning silence into betrayal. He never hit her, never raised his voice at first. His control was quieter, more dangerous. Guilt, questions. Don't you care? Why do you push me away? Lena began to pull back. That terrified him. One evening, Lena told him she needed time, space. She said it gently, but the words landed like a verdict. Ethan smiled, said he respected her decision. Inside, something broke cleanly in two. He followed her after that, not every day, just enough to reassure himself she was still his. He convinced himself it was love, protection, concern. But love doesn't stalk shadows or count footsteps. Lena noticed. She confronted him outside her apartment one night. Her voice was shaking, not with anger, but fear. This has to stop, Ethan. I'm scared. That word echoed in his head long after she closed the door. Scared. He never wanted to be that man. But once the idea took root, that Lena saw him as a threat, his world collapsed. If she was afraid, she might leave. If she left, he would be alone again. Abandoned. Forgotten. Ethan's thoughts grew darker, more desperate. He told himself that fear could be fixed, that if she just understood how deep his love went, she'd stay. He planned a conversation. Just a talk, he said. Closure. The abandoned house on the outskirts of the city had once been a care facility. Quiet, hidden, forgotten. He told Lena he needed to talk somewhere, private, somewhere calm. Against her better judgment, she agreed. She wanted it over. Final. The building smelled of dust and old paint. Sunlight slipped through cracked windows, cutting the room into pale squares. Ethan locked the door behind them. Lena froze. What are you doing? She asked. Just listen, he said, his voice trembling. Please. She backed away. Panic sharpened her movements. Ethan talked faster, words tumbling over each other. Apologies, accusations, promises. Love twisted into something unrecognizable. Ethan, open the door, she said. This isn't okay. Her fear was real now, undeniable. When she tried to push past him, something inside Ethan snapped, not with rage but with terror. He grabbed her arm. She screamed. The sound ripped through the empty halls like glass shattering. Stop, she cried. You're hurting me. He didn't mean to. He never meant to. But intention doesn't erase consequence. They struggled. Lena fought hard, harder than he expected. In the chaos, she stumbled, hit her head against the corner of a table. The sound was dull, final. She collapsed. Silence swallowed the room. Ethan stood frozen, breathing too fast, staring at Lena's still body. He knelt beside her, shaking her shoulders, whispering her name like a prayer he hoped could reverse time. She didn't move. Blood crept across the floor in a thin, quiet line. No, 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 he whispered. Minutes passed, or hours. Time lost meaning. When he finally accepted the truth, it hollowed him out completely. He hadn't saved love. He had killed it. Sirens wailed in the distance later that night. A neighbor had heard something. Someone always does. Ethan didn't run. He sat beside Lena until the police arrived, his hands stained, his mind empty. In the interrogation room under harsh white lights, Ethan told the truth. Not the excuses, not the justifications, just the truth. I was afraid to be alone, he said quietly, so I became the reason I am. Lena's story ended in that quiet room. Ethan's continued, but as a warning, not a romance. Because love without respect is not love.